Hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. All right, so you're probably wondering, where's Chris? Well, he'll be here soon, all right? But you're also wondering, why are we talking about Hasan Piker? Why would we be doing a show dedicating a morning to this absolute fluff nonsense, okay, that no one in our audience, okay, and rightly so, would care about? Well, I'll tell you why, okay? This is an experiment. This is the current hot thing amongst the subtarded 80 IQ population on the internet, okay, which is growing every day. Is Hassan did Hassan Piker beat his dog? Okay, or did Candace release the Charlie Kirk texts? Okay, things of that nature. So we're going to do a show on this, and if it turns out that the view count on this episode is significantly higher than the stuff that we do on more serious topics, then that confirms our theory that you are the problem, internet. Okay, you, so all will be punished. And with that said, Chris, are you ready to join us this morning?
I'm here, baby. I'm
Okay,
here.
lovely. Be
Be
controversial says
controversial.
I didn't realize I didn't actually hate Hassan until that moment. So
Yeah,
Hassan,
Hasan Piker is one of those that illustrates the wisdom of the adage: you don't hate them enough.
yeah. Well, Hassan Piker is in the influencer sphere. Okay, after the death of, but before and after the death of Charlie Kirk, Hassan Piker, who is basically the left's number one guy, because the other guys have all essentially fallen off. Okay, Vaush, all right, the fat sophist asshole, has basically stopped doing content, all right, or anything meaningful. Um, his numbers are way down. You have Steve Bonner or Bonnell, whatever, Destiny, right? He's gone through multiple scandals and is essentially in self-destruct mode after it's revealed that he's basically his cuckold scandal, his divorce scandal, his homosexual tendencies scandal, and also the scandal of his son becoming a groiper, which is the arch enemy of Destiny, Nick Fuentes, which is hilarious. All right, um,
And
it's
with
Steve Bonnell. No, Destiny, real quick. He has started doing campus tours now,
that's
in
what
a
I was about
similar
to say.
yeah in a similar line to what Charlie Kirk was doing. Um, it's titled like "Unfuck America" or something like that. Something real
Except he
classy.
doesn't require $250,000 worth of security for every appearance.
I
And
think he I think he wants to die. I think he wants.
that's
I
exactly what I was about to say.
yeah.
Tim Pool brought it up the other day and pointed out essentially that. He said, look, Destiny just went out, completely took a shit all over Charlie Kirk, and then said, by the way, I'm appearing at these places live without security. Destiny is attempting to commit suicide by MAGA.
Yeah,
And
he wants to be
it's
martyred.
not going to work for him. It's not going to work for him because we don't do that.
Yep.
Um,
We take bait, but not like that. So in light of yeah, that brings us back around to the death of Charlie Kirk. Okay, so prior to Hassan Piker, of course, had only disparaging things to say about Charlie Kirk in the wake of his death, right? But prior to that, Hassan had been becoming increasingly more and more radical, calling for literally on stream calling for his followers, okay, or for the left in general, to disembowel conservatives in the streets, like literally, okay, with a knife, summoning his or channeling his best Enoch Powell, calling for rivers of blood through the streets for
and what he
conservatives.
does, he thinks he can get away with it, and largely he has gotten away with it, but he will say things that are absolutely explicitly direct calls to commit criminal violence, and he'll be explicit, right? I want you to go murder this person at this time, and then he'll say, oh, in a video game. I mean, in a video game, guys. I mean, in a video game.
In
Right.
Minecraft, which is our insider term. Um, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like
Yeah,
you say something outrageous and then be like in Minecraft. And then the meme is like the FBI agent's like, oh damn it, we almost got him.
yeah, exactly. We almost had him. We're so close.
Fucking
Right.
Minecraft.
So the let's see. We're going to start with this article, and then we'll come back to the.
You don't have a clip of it, do you?
Oh
So
yeah,
of what we're
yeah.
talking about today. We didn't even talk about what we're talking about today. Okay, so
Yeah, so
in light of
so
Hassan
break that
being
out.
in light of Hassan being in a basically the internet's most wanted, okay, and not in a good way, all right. Basically a white phosphorescent beacon, okay, on the radar of internet activity, okay, as far as feds and any litigious partners might be concerned, okay. Hassan Piker. So what did he do? He recently bought a dog. It's like a large purebred. It's a big beautiful dog. Okay, um,
What a
and
pretty puppy.
the dog, yeah, and the dog sits. He does like 3 hour streams. Okay, and the dog would like just sit perfectly behind him on his bed for the course of the entire stream. Right. Um, so the dog's basically there. Recently got the dog probably to make him seem more human, okay, or more relatable or friendly or whatever, right? Um, there's the dog. There's the dog in the background. You can see it to the left.
And go ahead and drop the cameras, Mario, before I
Mhm.
play the clip, because I want you guys
Yeah,
to watch his hand.
yeah. Now, yeah, watch his left hand. All right. Now,
His right
so
hand.
the dog normally sits whichever. So the dog normally sits behind him the whole stream. All right. Except in this one episode, the dog gets up and seems to want to move around, and you watch Hassan's reaction.
All of America's much more consequential violence. Okay. It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just fucking go. Just stop. Jesus Christ. What are you doing? You're being such a baby. It's just, you're making her stressed. She just literally is so incredibly spoiled from my mom. No, she doesn't want to come over here to see what's up. She just wants to fucking roam the house because she got to roam the house when I was gone. And she needs to literally have the same structured, regimented.
Regiment meaning sit still for 3 fucking hours.
I
And be
think
my
that
prime.
clip went to Trump's big baby desk immediately. I hate everything. I hate everything. Of all.
And that is basically at the crux of the issue is this is a hateful person.
Yes.
You know, he means it when he says he hates everything. That's who he is, right?
Oh.
Yep. So Sergeant Major says yes, he used a shot collar. Okay, you can see the hand move across the screen, and there's like tons of videos out there on this. Okay, right now with
the autists have taken it and zoomed in to show that you can see the green light. That's and right. they're saying they know what brand shot collar it is.
It turns out professional dog groomers, dog keepers, dog watchers, dog sitters, turns out they're part of the same autism crowd. which may kind of make sense if you think about it. But yeah, everybody was hot.
Well, I think it's more that autists come in a variety of flavors. They're like the they're like the Baskin Robbins of idiot savants.
Yep. Idiot savant. I like that. I've been called an idiot savant, and it was meant as a compliment. Okay, it's one of my favorite terms.
Have you ever known an actual legit idiot savant?
No.
We had one when I was in high school, and he was very much like, he very much had the Rain Man kind of
fucking Rain Man. That's persona. What everyone thinks of. Yeah, that's what everyone thinks of. Yep.
But he could play 3 drum kits at the same time, like he was soloing for Dream Theater. Absolute genius with the sticks. Yep. He'd start out with that drum roll, and it sounded like he had 4 arms.
And if given enough money, I'm sure he would have a Lionel train set that would span an entire Walmart supercenter. I like trains.
Oh man!
So yeah.
Dude,
anyway,
so I've been doing the AI music and AI music videos. I should do one about weaponized autism entitled "Counting Matchsticks."
Go for it. Larry's been having fun with his sandbox lately. Okay, maybe he might have some stuff to show you soon. Sooner
I
rather than
published
later.
2 this
So,
morning, and I published them both as scheduled publications with 2 different methods. One of them I think is doing well. The other one I think I'm going to have to remove and republish because the mechanism didn't work correctly. But yeah, they're both great. I'm having a blast with that stuff, and yeah,
that's right. You see, other content creators create AI slop. Okay, Larry's AI slop is a cut above. Instead of just serving you a bowl of sludge, okay, Larry breaks out the Jello molds, okay, and he gives that slop a nice jiggly shape, right? Jiggly plum. Ooh. Okay. Anyway, so as we were saying, back to
Jiggly Plum, don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. In fact, if I don't see Cameron make a comment in the live chat this morning, I might just have to make that video.
and it's going to be wrong in all the right ways.
It'll be wrong in all the worst ways, in all the best ways.
I dare say, Jiggly Plum, Cam wants to know what love is, and he wants you to show him. Okay. Anyway.
God. Oh God.
So back to Hasan Piker, right? So he shocking his dog. Now other videos have confirmed that it is in fact, they literally break out the exact brand of a shock collar that he's using, and you can kind of faintly see it on the neck of the animal. There's also another video where he's sitting with a dog trainer, and this is just after he bought the dog, and the dog trainer is commenting that, hey, the dog's collar is too tight. You're supposed to be able to comfortably fit 2 fingers under the collar. You know what I mean? Or you're restricting the dog's airway. So the collar's on way too tight. So and the settings are maxed out on the shocker. Okay, so it's a very, very painful situation for the animal, and is using it exclusively as a prop. He has no empathy. Okay, he's not like a real human being. He has no empathy whatsoever for this animal. Okay, that he is using simply as a character plot device. There were other. What was I saying?
I've got the article you sent me here.
Right, and so he's been getting some a lot of pushback from different. This is the type of thing. So he's so hot on the radar right now. Everybody's looking at him, okay, as suspect number 1 for hate speech preaching, okay, to the lefty hordes, and rightly so. That shock of the dog kind of it unravels some of that lefty alliance, okay, that you might not think about, that kind of metaphysic of leftist collusion. All right, for example, PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. All right, they're outraged at Hasan because basically he's torturing an animal. All right, so and those are hardcore lefties. And then you've got in a hilarious twist, because Hasan is Turkish. Okay, his parents are like Turkish multimillionaires. Right, he's a red diaper baby. Okay, like they all are. Okay?
Well,
red diaper Nepo baby.
Yeah, Chunky Yogurt of the Young Turks is his uncle.
Correct. That's right. So he had a definite.
He basically only exists as an internet personality because he had Uncle Chunky Uyghur to promote him, and the external money to build the platform with. I mean, this guy is the worst sort of champagne socialist grifter who multi-million-dollar house paid for by his. I mean, and hey, credit where it's due. He has made millions.
He has
playing video games on the internet and being a professional shammer.
His fan base is extremely young. Okay, teenagers. All right.
When we talk about the problems with public education and all that stuff, this Be Controversial says Nepo commie. That's exactly correct. This Nepo commie is producing the content that your 8 through 16-year-olds enjoy on Twitch.
Yeah, kids who were given a tablet to play with no accountability by their parents. Okay, and it makes sense why his audience, why a guy who's basically a self-avowed communist, okay, why he would have such a young audience. Okay, think back in your journey, all right, into like political consciousness. When at what point in your life were you the most liberal you've ever been? Okay, it would have been when you were young, when you were very very young. Okay, before you had experienced reality. So yeah, it makes sense. Kids are commies, okay, because they don't know any better, and it on paper it looks like it's the most ethical, kindest, most most uh,
On paper,
most social
on paper, it
safety
looks
type
like
of situation.
kindergarten level. If you want to chew gum, I hope you brought enough for everyone, because the right thing to do is share. And I didn't, and I won't teach my children that they have a moral imperative to share.
Yep.
My children are learning that there is a thing called property, and your dispensation, your distribution of your own property is absolutely your province and no one else's.
That's right. When you're when other children violate the nap, okay, Lowry's children form a lynch mob with baseball bats and head over to the house.
That is one of my proudest moments.
we know. So the other angle of attack that Hasan has been receiving is people are saying, "Oh, it's because you're fucking Muslim. You don't like dogs because you're Muslim." Okay, and then for CARE, the Council for American Islamic Relations, has actually jumped in on this stupid story, and they're just like the ADL, where you know what I mean. Where anytime you hear them speak, whether it's the ADL in regards to the Jews or the CARE in regards to Muslims in America, right? All they ever have to say is, "Oh well." 2020 insert year was a record year for anti-Semitisms or anti-Islamic hate. You know what I mean? So they're smear merchants who are designed to whip up hysteria for political lobbying purposes. Okay,
Correct.
But they're saying that Hasan is being unfairly attacked for being Muslim.
So
And
let's take this back real quick. We mentioned Twitch and how this guy's talking to your kids on Twitch, guys. Honestly, Mario, this would be worth a deep dive. The differences between Twitch, Rumble, YouTube, etc. So, like today, we talk often about how YouTube is awful for censorship. They censor right-wing opinions. That has become less true. They're getting better and better about that of late, and in part because they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar, being directly directed by the government, specifically the Biden administration, and previously the Obama administration. In particular, to curtail conservative speech and messaging on the platform, etc.
I think it's just temporary, unfortunately.
I think you're well. We'll see what happens.
Israel.
There's a whole conversation to be had there, Mario, about if they loosen the chains on conservative speech, that can help to move the entire national conversation. Not the national conversation, it's just the national conversation, but the Overton window broadly. If we can move it back to the right, or even just widen it back to the right, that'll make such a huge difference, because what we see in the theory of no blue states, right? There's only red states with blue cancers. What we see is that America is a broadly right-leaning centrist nation. But many Republicans are discouraged from going out to vote because the media they're exposed to makes them think that they are the outlier, that they are the uncommon, that they are not in the majority. When the fact is, they are in fact the silent majority, a majority that is becoming less silent every day. But back to my point, YouTube is still great for the YouTube University, right? Hey, you know what? My daughter has a bunch of seashells and I've got some scrap lumber. I'm going to buy some polyurethane. How do I put these together into a shadow box for the kid? Oh shit, I've got a flat tire on my lawnmower. I ordered tires. I ordered new tires and they don't fit right. How do I, if I can't return them, how do I make use of them? I can spray brake fluid in there. Pfft, they fit. Groovy, right? YouTube University, go figure out how to do your plumbing, your DIY, rain collection barrels, stuff like that. But you must not ever allow your children under about the age of 7 or 8 to watch YouTube unaccompanied.
Yep.
Because it will start feeding them not even leftist slop, straight psychotic, mind-bending, demented garbage about supervillain or super comic book supervillains injecting giant syringes into Mickey Mouse's ass. That's a whole thread from something called Elsagate that we'll talk about when we get around to doing a deep dive on this. But Twitch, blanket ban.
Commies and groomers.
It's nothing but communists, pedophiles, and groomers playing video games to get access to your children. That's what Twitch is. That's why Hasan Piker is so successful on Twitch, because he's a communist groomer.
Yep.
He is a pro-terror, anti-American, pro-Islamic terrorist, commie groomer.
Yep.
By profession.
Not to mention that another common thing you find is the My Little Pony prawn. Okay, that's all over like Twitch, Discord, etc. That is why I quit using Discord, because we had our own little game thread for Clash of Clans, right? Yes, I know, fucking gay. Anyway, so
you actually put me off of Clash of Clans.
I know. So our clan had its own little Discord, right? And then one day I'm like, well, you know what? Let me just back out of our Discord server, or whatever. What else is going on this website? I start clicking around, and then I just see like thread after thread of My Little Pony prawn, and I'm like, we're done here. Delete app.
Yeah,
I didn't know that existed. Now I do, and my life is worse for it.
I didn't need to know that exactly, and I'm worse for it.
My life is now worse for it.
I now know a thing that has made me lesser.
That's right. I stared even longer into the abyss, and the abyss stared right back into me. Yep. All right. Yeah.
One of the chickens just tried to jump up into the studio and got stopped by the bug net. That's what that screech was.
Hasan fan, no doubt. Okay. Outraged by the top. Out there.
Do what? Oh, yeah.
Sounds like the Velociraptor exhibit at Jurassic Park.
It essentially is. Dude, you should see it. You should see it in the morning when we let them out, and the flock just comes out. They're all
hunter mode. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're ready to kill. Ready to kill.
It's pretty amazing to watch. Yeah, I think next year I'm gonna double or triple the number of chickens we have on the property, and then at the end of next year I'm gonna tear down the existing chicken coop and build one that is at least twice as large.
Yeah. Jigglyplum has some advice for chicken keeping for you there, Chris.
Oh no, we don't use shock collars. We have a cattle prod. I'm kidding. We don't cattle prod the chickens.
Yeah, he does it super sadistic. Like puts them in a little kiddie swimming pool and has like 2 leads from a car battery ready to go.
Hey, but real talk, I have been known on more than the occasional occasion to send my little battle buddy Michael out in the front yard with his BB gun to get the squirrels out of the tomatoes and the watermelons.
Oh yeah.
Little Battle is becoming quite the marksman.
That's right. And it doesn't really kill him. But
Sergeant Major says the chicken will explode. That's correct. So what you do is you get the kiddie pool, right? Several car batteries in series. Drop the 2 leads in the pool with the chickens. Boom, popcorn chicken.
Ooh. All right.
Boom,
So
chicken, boom, boom.
speaking of, yeah. So getting back to the
And apparently,
yeah.
if I were to start torturing my farm animals out here, I could make it big on Twitch.
Yeah. You need a. You got to get rid of the MAGA hat in the background. Yeah, the guns. Yeah, your whole motif. It's really not working for the whole communism thing. Okay, I'll talk to you offline. Okay, we need a total revamp here.
Total revamp of the.
So back to streaming. Since we're talking about Hasan, we might as well talk about a couple other people. So Candace Owens recently revealed that she revealed some of the text from inside the Turning Point USA organization, right? That
Oh
she
God,
was
we're going to talk about this.
yeah, that she was hinting that she had, right? And yeah, she did actually release some of the goods. Okay, apparently she's got
And,
like 7 more chunks of this thread that she's planning on releasing which I don't like. Okay, that's like clout chasing. That's she's really trying to milk it for everything it's worth. Okay,
yeah, well,
I
I
kind
mean,
of
she's in the business of making. She's
I
in the
get it.
business of making money. Let's make no mistake.
I get it, but
I'll refer you back. Early in the controversy of social media platforms censoring content, one of the big things that would happen would be on Facebook. They would put the little banner that had fact check, right, and the fact check would be a link to another site. Candace actually sued. Uh, I forget the details, so I'll try to be vague on it. I forget if she sued Facebook directly, but I know that whether or not she sued Facebook directly, she also sued the individual organizations that were doing the independent fact checking. And essentially, what happened with that is Facebook had contracts with groups like the ADL, the Southern Poverty Law Center, groups like that. I don't know if it was those two in particular, but it was groups of that sort that are they exist for no reason other than to conduct smear campaigns against political opponents of the Democrat Party, right? And so what they would do, they'd run these fact checks on conservative posts on YouTube or on Facebook. And what would happen is people would click on the fact check to see what it was instead of clicking on the post to watch the video. And that was taking people away from the content that the conservative creators were creating. But it wasn't just that they were putting false fact checks. The fact checks these guys would do would be absolutely ludicrous. The example is Donald Trump did a perfect backflip yesterday and then ate an ice cream, and the fact check will be like Snopes. Donald Trump did not do a perfect backflip on Sunday. Yesterday was actually Saturday. Like you're disproving a claim that wasn't forwarded for your fact check. But the mechanical and business result would be you click on the fact check, you're taken away from the conservative content to a website owned by the fact-checking organization that's still serving you ads for revenue. So she was able to sue and claim that not only was she losing revenue, but it was being directly and intentionally taken from her through a conversion-style fraud maneuver. But I say all that to say, one, yes, the censorship was real, still is, and it's a problem. And two, Candace is in the business of making money.
Yeah.
Candace has gotten extremely J-pilled lately. Everything is Israel. Everything's the Jews.
Yes.
And without making an argument about whether or not she's right, my point here is that she recognizes what the algorithm is respecting.
Right. There have been a lot of people on the rights streamer influencer sphere, okay, that have become JQ pilled, all right, recently, right?
Real quick, Mario. Jigglyplum says you guys are 100% feds. No. Jigglyplum, here's what you got to appreciate. Not anymore.
Jigglypump's going full cyber. You never go full cyber, okay?
And B says she just wants the Benjamins. I don't know, man. She doesn't seem to be down with Netanyahu or Shapiro anymore.
Yeah, we're gonna get
definitely. She's definitely broken from the Benjamins. She appears to be chasing that sweet Bitcoin, that sweet crypto.
So on the right-wing influence sphere, okay, more and more people are noticing, okay, if you will. That's the term. All right, the term for it. The issue with Israel, the United States government, and who's holding the power, right? A lot of people just like a crystal bullet piercing the brain, okay, are suddenly realizing that we have a problem with this, right? And that's a good thing. That's a good thing, okay? Like we finally pushed the Overton window, pushed it, crawling, pushing, fighting, and screaming, okay, to get that thing to move. And now everyone's jumping off, okay, jumping on it. Now the problem is, I've been JQ pilled since 2015. Okay, it was a very painful reality for me. It was basically a complete inversion of reality, and I was forced to accept that what I had believed before, was not true. All right, and that reality is far worse than I thought. So, and I was a little erratic at the time. Well, it's the same with these people, okay, who are basically going through the same thing. And the problem is sometimes they create unnecessary controversies that in fact damage the entire right-wing influencer sphere, okay, by pushing it too far, or basically just going full schizo and saying that everything is Israel, okay? Everything is not. Israel isn't behind everything, okay? Understand that. It's not always the Jews, all right? But for people who've been recently,
like I've said many times, Mario, the problem with the hardcore J-pillars is they can't see the forest for the Jews.
They're not. They did 2015. Okay.
Oh shit, Mario, you must have said something important because your feed totally froze out.
Oh, am I back now?
Yeah, there you are.
Yep. Yeah. Well, the topic I was mentioning, of course. Now I'm being. Yeah, absolutely. I just see, kids. That's what happens. That's what happens when your selector goes from untargeted to targeted. Okay.
Yeah, you just witnessed a glitch in the matrix.
That's right. Glitch in the matrix. So, right now, back in like 2015 to 2020, if you were talking about this type of material, you're getting banned. Like you're getting banned instantly, like off of YouTube, okay? Yeah. YouTube, Twitter, like you're done. It was only after Elon Musk bought X that this even became like a possibility, a slow build, and now it's kind of hitting a crescendo, right?
Yeah, back in 2015, if you just said the word Jew on YouTube, yeah. they nuke you with the Jewish space lasers.
That's right. So, so at the time we learned something that were called power levels. Okay, you ever heard the expression "check your power levels"? All right, it means like, hey man, you're being a little too explicit. You're being a little too on the nose. All right, tone it down a little bit. All right, maybe disguise your coach your words a little bit. Okay.
For example, I'm amazed Ted Cruz has ever been. I'm amazed that Ted Cruz has ever been able to appear on any public platform with that nose.
Yeah. Ted Cruz?
He doesn't have a Jewish nose. He has a fucking weird nose.
Yeah, he's got like an Oswald Cobblepot nose. Okay, yeah. It's like a hook. It's like
yeah. Get that man a top hat and a cane.
Unverified.
I actually generally like Ted Cruz for most stuff, but buddy, he could play Oswald.
All right, Charlie. We hope you recover soon.
Early Oswald when he was still hungry, before he rose to the top of the crime world and had all he could eat. Yeah, hungry Cobblepot. That's Cruz all day.
He was raised by penguins. Okay,
yeah.
That's how you become Hasan. All right, raised by Turkish penguins. All right, and then given a six-figure bank account at the start of life. All right. So Unverified says, first of all, Charlie there says he's in the hospital.
Yeah, I didn't want to break your flow, but I did want to give a shout out to our guy Charlie there.
Hope you recover soon, whatever's ailing you. All right. And then let's see, Hasan
Hey,
shot
Charlie,
caller.
if you want to tell us what's going on, we'll shout it out to the crowd so they can pray for you, brother.
I think he hooked up with Jigglyplum last night, and now he's in the hospital. Many such cases. All right. So the Unverified says the Hasan shot caller story coming out at the same time as the Gates QR code story is proof of the simulation. I'm not familiar with the Gates QR code. Okay, more weirdness abounds, it would seem. So anyway, now that
Okay,
Candace
that's
has,
something we're hearing about in real time because I don't know anything about that either.
yeah, they always do that.
Uh,
The real newsy news always happens when we're live or right after we get off from the show. All right.
yeah, remember we were live when Trump announced that they caught Kirk's assassin, and literally the only news anywhere was we have a suspect in custody. That was the extent of it.
Yep. So anyway, back to what we were saying about Candace, okay,
Oh.
before talking about power levels and all that. So Candace did release some of these texts, okay, and what the text confirmed, the takeaway here is that Charlie Kirk was being unduly pressured by Israeli sponsors, okay, or prominent Jewish American sponsors. All right, one guy pulled out $2 million that he invested in TPUSA simply because Charlie Kirk had the audacity of hosting Tucker Carlson, all right, on his program, okay, stuff like that. So anyway, and then the text, Charlie Kirk said, "I'm going to have no choice but to bail out of the pro-Israel movement." Okay, whether he meant that fully sincerely or if he was kind of joking, I don't know, but it does add another layer of mystery, okay, to the death of Charlie Kirk. I'm not saying Israel did it. I don't know. It's probably just some crazy left-wing terrorist, okay, who's a tranny.
I'm nearly
right?
certain that Israel didn't do it because of the language that was used in the Discord conversations around Charlie Kirk's death. It sounds very much like there was a whole community of radical trans activists who were aware that there was a plan to assassinate Charlie Kirk when it happened. They had foreknowledge, which means that you have a whole organization discussing it, and that's Trantifa. So
Yeah.
there's some.
The question is still out there, okay? Consider it.
Yeah.
Put it in your X files, okay? Right?
Yeah.
So who knows?
So
maybe
as far as
60 years from now, we'll finally know the truth, right, guys?
As far as Gates talking about QR codes, so there's something going on right now. Last week, Tim Pool went out to the TPUSA headquarters and ran his regular show from their studio all week, and then he's got something. I know. This week he's actually in the World Championship of Poker, so he keeps bringing in guest hosts to run his show every night, and Matt Gaetz was the host for Timcast IRL a couple nights ago, and so I've got the clip that was it Be Controversial? Yeah, Be Controversial brought it up. So I missed this clip. So here it is.
If you asked any questions about any decision of the Israeli government in any place regarding settlements, regarding Gaza, whatever, you were like, you had deviated from the script. And I just, in any policy area, I had resentment over that. And then I saw the way the AIPAC worked, and that was weird for like a country lawyer like me. I remember my first AIPAC reception, and like your fundraiser tells you have to go, and your chief of staff tells you have to go, your committee chairman all tell you have to go, and you get there and you wear this name badge, and I remember there's a QR code on it. And what we were supposed to do was go talk to donors, and then if they liked you, they scanned your QR code to make a donation, like on the spot. And so can you just imagine how demoralizing that is to like be told that your job for the next several hours to go chat people up, hoping they would scan you like a can of tomato soup on the way out of the meeting.
I mean, it's literally purchasing.
Right. And so I saw that and I was like, wow, that is so freaking weird. And then, I was in Israel I went multiple times, and I did not like the fact that I found someone in my room rooting around in my stuff that should not have been there at the King David Hotel when I came back to my room when no one was expecting me to be back in my room. And I just
presumably Israeli law
well, I don't know
enforcement.
who it was. I just thought, like, this is weird. All of these things combined are odd. And then the policy outgrowth seems to be an obsession about the Middle East that has not served my generation well.
I've been here.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, and the up next is God Mode by Tom McDonald.
Yeah, that's the first I heard of that. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Okay, you're cattle. You're cattle.
Yeah.
And here's your little bell. And if I ring your bell, that means you get a treat.
Well, and he has famously talked in the past about
they can't help themselves.
Yeah, he has famously in the past talked about the process in Congress about what it takes to get on committees. And it's literally, you have to make a donation to the party. So, yeah, if you want to be on this community on tax policy, you have to make a $250,000 donation. Go hit your fundraisers.
Yep.
Right. And you literally, the government is absolutely 100% literally for sale, and it's built into the process.
I think Unverified is suggesting that nobody scanned poor Thomas Massey's QR code. And look what happened. So
yeah,
I'm kind of 45 minutes. I need to get going, if you don't mind, if you're done.
Sergeant Major asks, is today's show a test of our patience? That's a fair question.
Yes.
and we're going to go ahead and put a pin in it there. I got to get on down the road.
You missed the beginning, Sergeant Major. It's an experiment. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And you're part of the experiment. Thank you for being our test subjects. Okay.
All right, guys. Well, so yeah, thanks for watching this morning. We appreciate it. We love you, and we will see you tomorrow.
Ciao.
Oh man, Mario, I'm sorry I cut off your chow.